I
All
didn't
right, we
realize
are
I was.
live. Hey everyone, thanks for coming to another edition of The Glow with all of our wonderful people here. We are on show number 4. How awesome is that? We are going to be doing some really good stuff tonight. We wanted to kind of talk about the new catalog, and we thought, how do we do that? And we thought, you know what better way than to kind of give you ideas as to how to present it to customers, how to talk about the new products, different ways to show the new products. And so we have a lot of stuff lined up for you guys tonight. But before we start, we missed something last show, and I want to make sure that it is properly addressed today. One of our own was nominated as a Shining Star this year, and we are
Aw.
very, very proud of her. She has accomplished such amazing things, and to know that she's our friend, we want to congratulate Katie Farner for being a Shining Star nominee. So congratulations! Yay!
Oh, thanks, girls. Don't make me cry.
Katie, do me a favor. I want you to give us a really quick thing on what Shining Star means to you and what this was for you.
Oh gosh. So for me, I the thing that really turned my business into something was the my trip to Reunion and what I gained and what I learned from so many other people. So I feel like ever since that moment, sorry, my dog had to join me. She's sitting on my lap. Ever since that moment where I attended my first reunion and I received so much, I have had a desire to give back. You know, I have had such a desire to give back to the Sensi family and help other consultants that, you know, want to work their business and might be discouraged or might be, you know, have insecurities like I did and fears and doubts. And so my real goal has been to have a positive effect on people like that because I have had so much given to me. So for me, being nominated for the Shining Star Award was it was validation that there are people that I'm touching. There are lives that I am helping and benefiting, and that to me is the most rewarding feeling that I have ever had. So for me, that's what Shining Star meant for me. It meant that there are people out there that I am positively having an effect on. This person that never thought she could accomplish anything, let alone inspire others to believe in themselves to do the same. So it's just, that was very rewarding for me.
Awesome. I love you. You
Oh, I
deserve
love
it.
you guys too. Thank you.
Oh, all right. So, Christina, I don't know if you can hear us, but I muted you because you're clanging about with your Play-Doh. And I think what we're going to do is get started right away, and I want to start with Dawn. And Dawn is going to talk about a little bit how to present our new products, or products in general, using online methods. So go ahead, Dawn, with your amazingness.
Okay, well, here is the deal with video, all right? Like, I work out of my home, and I garden, and I water pots. So, like, if I'm going to get cleaned up enough to tell somebody something, how a product works, how a product looks, you better get it on film because it doesn't happen very often. So, I am a person who loves consistency, and I like rituals. So I really enjoy being able to talk about a new product. Like today, we did a video on the new Rock Balance Warmer, which I love, by the way. And I just jotted down some notes that I wanted, you know, always the height. I compared it and set it next to the Zen Rock because a lot of my customers or consultant friends already have the Zen Rock. Well, what better way to show them other than sitting next to each other? So then you can just go through the features and show your enthusiasm for a product, and you could share that by private message to your friends on Facebook. You could post it on your own wall. When a customer texts you and says, hey, I have a question about that new rock. I already have the old rock. What's the new rock like? You could just shoot that right out to her. And it's like she's sitting there with you in your living room or dining room, and they feel your excitement, and you can really get a good close-up on those warmers. So I really enjoy featuring things. Well, now it's exciting because we have the countertop cleaner. I did a video on that sitting next to my stainless steel garbage can. Yes, I was on the floor. And we did a video a few days ago featuring my husband, Colin, so you girls are going to have to watch for that one. And he does the dishes and everything here, so he's the kitchen king. And he is so impressed with this new soap, dish soap. Okay, now we use Dawn dish soap our entire lives, but this stuff from Scentsy kicks it because it has these little biodegradable enzymes that like eat all the little pieces of food that are crusty and dried on there, and it's the neatest. So I'm able to show my customers and also get other consultants excited about a new product. I mean, sure, you could say, oh yeah, here it is in the book, but if you can actually show, even if you screw up, that's okay. I screw up a lot on my videos, but like I think people don't mind that. They kind of maybe like it because it's funny when I screw up. But I just like sharing with video. I think that's very important, that people can sense your excitement about a new product. And trust me, girls, if I can do it, I am the most anti-technology person there is. I'm 53 years old. I had one typing class in my life back in 10th grade. We just do the videos on the cell phone, and I use one video program, and in that program I know how to do 3 things, and Jamie was going to teach me a 4th thing someday. We're going to do that.
I was.
So if I can do it, yeah, there was something we talked about. You were like, oh, I know how to do that. And I was like, oh, good. Someday we'll learn. But yeah. So if I can do it, any of you people watching can do a stinking video. It's not hard. And if you screw it up, guess what? Delete it. Stand there. Do it again. Just don't have a big light behind you. That's important. No backlighting. And use your flash because it makes your wrinkles look less when you have a flash on your camera. So that's all I have to say about that.
Go ahead.
So, Dawn, do you think that like different social media platforms, when you're talking about online, where can you put videos like that to show the products? Do you know?
I use Facebook primarily. But I always do my videos on YouTube and then share them to Facebook. Like seriously, I don't even think I know how to make a simple little video and just put it on Facebook. I don't even know how to do that unless I upload it to video.
The good thing about you uploading it to YouTube first is that then you can track your views, so you can see how many people are actually watching them.
Yeah.
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 So like I know that Instagram also allows for 15-second videos. So that's another platform that people could upload just a very quick snippet. I know like I had done one of the diffuser and just showed how to press the buttons and watched it go through real quick. So that's another platform that can video can be used. And I know Twitter, I don't know a lot about Twitter, but I think Twitter has a video platform now too, or maybe it's just linkable. I don't know if you can actually upload directly to Twitter. Do any of you know?
I'm not sure. I don't tweet.
You know, I don't tweet either.
My Facebook tweets to my tweet, but I wouldn't even know how to get into Twitter. But back to Instagram. Can you imagine me talking for only 15 seconds? Like, I can't do a 15-second video. It takes that long for me to tell you my freaking name. I mean, I'm a talker. I need to be shorter. Short. I need to be shorter.
That's funny. Christina, if you need, I think you need to unmute yourself. I can't do it from here for some reason.
I did it already.
Oh, very good. Okay, that's why I couldn't unmute you, because you took control. That's awesome. Okay, so awesome. I love, good night, honey. Can you shut the TV?
I want to hear Edie say good night, husband.
Good night, husband.
Yay!
She's married now.
Yay. Okay, so video is a really strong way to show, and I use video in Facebook parties. I mean, video can really be a huge way to show the new product online. But Christina's going to talk about different ways to do them in party settings. So to show and demonstrate products in a party setting. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. Sorry earlier I was making Play-Doh. You know that like moment at the end of the weekend where you realize that you were supposed to do something for your child's school in the morning? I was making Play-Doh for his whole class. Multitasking, working my business, working my family all at the same time.
Right.
So parties, dudes. We love home parties. We're the home party loving crew here. We're going to talk about like product specific parties. I don't know if anyone's ever done any parties that are like not the entire catalog. Well, guess what? Our catalog has a lot of stuff in it now. And I don't think it's completely out of the crazy realm of possibility to be having parties that are product specific. And some things that you could do for like product specific parties is you could have like a kids products only party where you bring some buddies and buddy clips and the bath smoothies and fun stuff like that. And you can always do like a craft. You could print out like a Scentsy bar and have them all color the Scentsy bar with like some glitter and, you know, having fun with it and do like a little contest and maybe a prize for the winner. Anything that you guys want to do to make it really fun for kids, especially with back to school going on or, you know, fall break coming up. You could have a really fun play date party with some kids products, and then you could show the kids warmers and the kids wax and do anything that kind of helps them realize that this is also something you could do in your kids' rooms and things like that. Make them smell good because kids' rooms smell awful. This is the smelliest room in the house aside from the bathroom, especially if you have boys. So getting them warmers in their own rooms, and we have like those new awesome kid scents now. So it's definitely screaming children this year. So make sure that you're marketing those in the right kind of way. And it's really fun doing it at a kids party because guess what? When you show kids things and they want things and their parents are there, they probably will get to buy those things, especially since we sell things that usually they pretty much need. Like the bath smoothie with the bath mitt. They need that. Like you got to clean your kid. And they're never going to smell better, I swear. Like my kid's head will smell for like 2 days. It smells like the smoothie. It's awesome. So having those kind of parties are really fun. Another thing that you could do is like a spa party and do it co-ed. So you're doing like the skin and the groom line, and everybody brings their little sugar butt with them, and they have, you know, like a little date night, but it's a Scentsy party. And you could do like wine and cheese and I would say candles, but no, we're doing diffusers. So do a diffuser with, let's not go down that road too far. But like do your diffuser and get like a really, really sassy smell. We have lots of really awesome new oils. You could even just do something like lavender and it's, you know, soft. But you know what I love? Like the vanilla nutmeg cardamom. Like, I want to drink that. Like, does anybody else want to just, like, throw that bottle back and eat it?
I feel like I could just, like, eat the air.
Oh, my gosh. I just go up to the diffuser and, like, lick at the, like, the mist.
Listen,
like a puppy dog. It's so good. So hopefully, like, have some brownies and, like, fancy cheese with, like fancy cheese, like, string slicer with wine and, like, do the groom line and stuff. And if you don't really want to make it like a romantic thing where everyone's like rubbing lotion into their hands and smelling shave cream and putting on sexy smelling man face balm, you could do something funny like a closest shave contest and have all the guys bring their razors and their 5 o'clock shadows and like have like a closest shave contest. Which I think would be really cute, and then they can win something. You know, it could be nothing. I always tell people they can win something. Everyone's like, I don't want to give something expensive. Nobody cares what they win. They just want to win. You could get like a cute little like mustache on a stick. Who cares? That's a prize. Or a mug with like a little mustache on it, or even just the samples that we're gonna have of the man line. You could do that too. But any ways that you could do like groom. And skin line like showcased, but bring the diffuser because it's going to help set the spa kind of mood with like the sensory experience because you know we like our fragrance. So I feel like the diffuser and the skin and all of that kind of stuff. And if you want to, you know, show them the laundry stuff too. It's like, while you're here, you're gonna have to do housework later, so here's some laundry stuff. I feel like our laundry stuff goes really well with our body care line, so it's all kind of in that same realm. And then you could just do just a diffuser party only, and have everybody kind of like, you know, turn the lights down and just have like one of the really like earthy smells going, like the really super spa ones, like the eucalyptus, like clear. I like that one with the lavender and the eucalyptus and the peppermint and the fir. Like that one smells really super relaxing. So you could do that and have like meditation-y spa music on, and have everybody just like relaxing and smelling the different oils and passing around your oil sampler. You'll probably sell 1 million diffusers because it smells so amazing, and then show them how that works. The diffusers can be a party all their own. So just try to find different ways that you can do some parties that are just product focused, especially if you have people that host parties for you all the time. They usually know what the wax warmers are like, and they probably know they can still buy those at those parties, but you're just kind of trying to introduce this new fun line. You could even focus on cleaning your house, like show off the kitchen cleaner and the dish soap and the hand soap and laundry, and focus on that with like a play group, and show them how they could clean their house and it smells amazing, and it's, you only need a few products to do a whole lot. I think the dish soap that has like a ton of stuff that you can do with the dish soap on the back? Somebody said that. I need to go read it. I just took their word for it. Dawn says yes.
Yes.
Like you can make like cleaners.
Colin has this thing that he cooks vegetables on in the grill so they don't fall through the slots, and that thing was like, he cleaned it every time, but it was still like somewhat disgusting. So he soaked it in the new kitchen soap, and he said it has never been cleaner since the day he took it out of the package. And another thing we cleaned with it is, how the bird feeders have like that plastic plexiglass piece that's clear that holds the seed in? Well, you can't scrub that with like a sponge or a Scotch-Brite because you'll scratch it all up. So we soaked it in an aluminum cookie sheet that had an edge on it with some of the dish soap, I think 2 squirts, and like those enzymes ate all these little like dried on particles of half-chewed bird seed. It was the coolest thing ever. So yeah, you can clean stuff with it.
It's pretty magic. I even heard somebody like they made their own mopping solution, or their own like where they grabbed they made like a cleaning solution out of it in like a spray bottle for their bathroom and for their tub, because it says not to use the counter clean on your tub, so they use the dish soap on their tub. So just finding different ways to use our cleaners in different ways. So you could have like a cleaning products party and stuff like that. So it'd be really fun to do it that way as well. But then you could also do themes. Like I was talking to the girls earlier, I do painting parties with my customers, and I think Dawn does a lot of painting parties too. And my girl that does our painting parties is so excited about the oils because she wants to add oils to the paint a little bit, like a couple of drops, so it won't change the consistency of it, and then we'll paint with that, and everyone will have like a cinnamon clove Christmas painting going on, and we'll have the diffuser going with some vanilla nutmeg cardamom, because I'm pretty sure there's no other oil in my heart right now, and then, or the cinnamon clove that we're going to paint with, and things like that. So you'll have all of that going on. And then what I do at my parties, this is kind of crazy, is I do a bar swap. Anyone who has an unused Scentsy bar can bring it to my party and swap it out with something new. So some of my people who don't buy a whole lot all year long, I can get them back to my house, back to some new Scentsy smells, and they fall in love with something else, and it kind of kickstarts their Scentsiness with me again. So that's a word. And so it gets them in my customer book, back in my face, and having a good time with me. And then they usually will pick up their pace of ordering once they realize that I didn't even care. They got to bring bars over. I don't care if they place an order or not. It kind of helps refresh my stock before my festival things coming up. And then most of them do place orders, though. So it's like, hey, you don't have to place an order, but they all do, because they all want the new stuff. They see, I always have a display of all the new awesome stuff out, and they can't even help it. So, and they have a catalog at all of their stations where they're painting. So it's just, it happens. You can't even control it. Once people smell stuff, they have to buy it. So I do that. There's all kinds of different things you can do. I was actually considering doing like a chili cook-off, with my customers and doing like a fundraiser with it. Like everyone pay $2 and we give all that money to something, and then the winner wins like a Scentsy companion system, and then everyone can order, and any orders I give 25% to this organization as well. I was going to do Toys for Tots or Operation Christmas Child, and then we can actually show them how many kids we helped by doing our little chili cook-off and Scentsy parties. So always think of different themes and things that get your customers excited about coming back to you and seeing all the new products, because sometimes a shiny new catalog isn't always enough to get them excited. But having something like new and fresh at your parties, or something they haven't actually done before with you, can get them really excited for that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Those are awesome. Awesome. So those are a lot of good ideas, and I think that Jamie is actually going to talk to us a little bit about different open house ideas, so it's going to kind of piggyback onto what Christina was just talking about. So Jamie, what do you have for us?
Well, mainly, I really typically only do 2 open houses at my house every year, and that they're both at catalog transition time. So I do one when it's spring to fall, and the other one when it's fall to spring, or winter, whatever. Anyway, I love doing them at my house. One of the main reasons is my husband and I remodel a lot. So obviously, if you've been watching any of my social media lately, you know we did a huge rehab of this house and remodel, but we're constantly doing it. We've been doing that for 10 years. We like to buy junker houses and refinish them. So all of my customers, all of my friends are constantly watching my social media. They want to come see what we've done firsthand. So I kind of have an in on that. Now that being said, I've done open houses at hostesses' houses, and really it's just a party, but in a longer time frame and a come-and-go type atmosphere. But what's really cool about it is it's so low-key, it's so chill, there's no formal presentation, and these customers can come and see what they want to see, and you don't have to mess with what they don't want to see. So I absolutely loved my open house for this catalog, and I did it a couple weeks ago. The reason that I loved it is now that we've expanded the catalog, there's a reason for me to spread my open house into every room of my house. So when they first came in, I had the diffuser, bam, right in their face, because I was super excited about it. Let's face it, it's our highest price point item, and we are salespeople. As much as, you know, we want to make this a lovey company, we're salespeople, and we want to sell stuff. So I want to get the highest price item in front of them first. So as soon as they walked in my front door, they saw the diffuser. I had it going. I actually had all 3 out, so there was like all this mist, and it was kind of cool looking. I had all the testers out, so that was instantly what they swarmed to as they walked in the door. But I did have a couple people that walked in, and they were like, not doing oils. Let's move on. But it gave me the option to know whether they were interested in it or not. Even if they thought that maybe they weren't interested in it, it caught their eye, so they walked over to it. I could at least give them a quick little demo of the diffuser. So that was instantly when they first came in. So I had all the wax testers spread all over my kitchen table. And you know what? I didn't even have to display warmers, because if they're coming in my house, I have 14 warmers in my house all the time, because there's a warmer in every single room. So I didn't have to make a point to set out warmers. They could just walk through my house and see the warmers in action in a real house and get ideas of where they could put them in their house, that type of thing. And I have some warmers in some odd places that people typically don't think about until they see them there. So I have a mud room out the side door of my house, and there's cubbies underneath, and Paul puts his work boots in there. Okay, that stinks. So there's a plug in one of those cubbies, and I have a plug-in in there. Can it be seen? Not really. You can kind of see the glow of the light, but it smells good in that room because there's a plug-in in there. So I also have a plug-in in my closet. Now, typically at an open house, you're not going to usher people all the way through the house, but like I said, everyone's coming over to see what we've done to the house. So they're looking at every single room of the house. And they're like, oh my gosh, you have a plug-in in your closet? Well, hello, that's where all my stinky shoes are. So yeah, I have a plug-in in the closet. So, enough of warmers. We know about warmers. Then they got to go into the kitchen. Of course, I'm going to shoo them into the kitchen because that's where the snacky snacks are. But I had a display by my sink of my 3 new favorite products, the hand soap. And I know it's the same soap that we've had before, but for some reason, the bottle just makes it look so much fancier. It just looks classic and clean, and I love having it there. I adore the kitchen soap. So what I actually did is I had made some cobbler and things like that, and I left that nasty, nasty, dirty pan out for like 3 days before my open house because I wanted people to see this cleaner in action. And what I intend to do, I'm having my first party Thursday with the new catalog, and I'm going to call my hostess tomorrow and say, hey, Diana, why don't you leave a dirty dish for me? And I'm going to do some of her dishes for her. So I can show that soap in action. Same thing with the counter cleaner. I'm going to leave some nastiness on my kitchen counter and clean it. Or, you know, I'm going to go into the hostess's house and clean her countertop for her. The counter cleaner can be used in cars. So that is another good point. So, no, I'm not going to go to their car and clean it, but I can have it out, and that's just a talking point that I can do. So in the bathroom, I'm going to have the kids' stuff. I'm going to have the skin and the groom. So open houses are just a good chance that you can show our products in action. You can let people test them out as far as the cleaning products go. Oh, the laundry stuff. I had my washing machine going during my open house. Because I guarantee you, as they walk through my laundry room, they're going to go, oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. Even before they come in, because you know you can smell laundry outside because the dryer vents go outside. So have a load of laundry going. If you are going to have it at a hostess's house, tell her to change her sheets right before you get over and leave the dirty sheets out, or grab up all the towels that are dirty in her house and throw them in the washing machine and have it going so people can smell that stuff going. So the deal with an open house is exactly what everyone's saying. We don't want to just show them the products in the catalog. We want to have them use the products and let them see the products in use. Get those products in their hands, get them using them, and they will fall in love with them, and they'll order tons.
Preach.
Woohoo!
I was trying to unmute me.
Well, I can keep talking. You know I will.
Yeah. And I like the open house. I want to ask you something too, Jamie, about that. Like, in an open house, do you think that, like you just mentioned, you have it set up in different sections? Do you do certain things during an open house, or is that not an appropriate, like at a home party, we do games and you know, that sort of thing. But do you find that there's anything like that that you can do to keep them engaged while they're at an open house?
You know, I don't think it's necessary because they're already engaged because they're playing with the products. They're using the products. And what I find happening at an open house, it's really interesting because it's a come and go situation. I sometimes get busy with one customer and can't help another one, and I find them selling products to my other customers. I find them becoming consultants for me, which tells me a couple things. Number one, who's my next recruit, who's selling this stuff for me, but also I think people are more receptive to hear about products from another customer because they know that person's not trying to sell them things. I'm the salesperson. I'm, of course, going to tell them great things about the products because I want to sell them more. But if they're hearing these good things from another customer, they're more apt to buy more because, oh, well, she said she already loves this. I should try it. So I don't feel there's need to have games. Of course, I'm going to get their information, but I'm going to get it on the order form. So I don't really feel that there's a need for games because the interaction is built into the style of the open house.
Okay. Okay. I know I've heard
another.
Go ahead.
I have another thing to bring up. With an open house, people come and go at different times. So, like with a game, it might be harder to play that because people will be, you know, coming in and this one's leaving and this one has to be there somewhere, you know. So I love games because I think they're fun, but I think in an open house setting that Jamie's right. People are drifting in at different times and they're already engaged. just because they're playing with their stuff. And when you said about having a customer help another customer, I get an open house, and I'll tell you, 7 or 8 people will all come at the same time, sometimes 2 carloads of 4. Well, somebody wants to see the diffuser, so I said to this one girl, I'm like, hey, you were really paying attention during the diffusers, right? And she's like, oh, yeah, I really want one. I'm like, well, great. Can you take these 2 girls into my living room and press some buttons? And she was like, sure. And she went in there, and she did the greatest job. They came out laughing. I said, how did she do? They said, oh, my God, she did great. And it made her feel important because she was important. And again, this other customer liked hearing from a regular other chick. So I agree with Jamie. That's a great way to subcontract some of your demos to the people who already know about it.
Well, and one thing I failed to mention, and this really only works if it's at your own house. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to hang out all day at a hostess's house. I find, and I know that I believe that all of us do Cincy full time, I find it beneficial to have 2 open house times. I do one from like 10 to 2 for my stay-at-home mamas, and then I do one from like 6 to 8 for my working customers. And so it kind of gives them time options. Now, I know that's not a possibility for everyone, but if you are able to, I find that really beneficial.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so then another topic that we wanted to talk about, which is pretty important actually in our business, I think, because it's important that we try product, or that customers have an opportunity to try product. And when we have new products and new lines coming out, sampling becomes a really big deal. So Katie's going to talk to us about sampling ideas.
Thanks, Edie. So talking about samples is, like Edie said, it's definitely very important. You know, some people might think, oh, I don't really have a lot of time. My schedule is really full. So for me, sampling kind of gets pushed to the back burner. And I can relate because there's been times in my business over the last 5.5 years that I definitely have not had time to make samples, or at least make them as polished and finished as I would have liked. So I want you guys to understand that there will be ebbs and flows in your business and seasons where you have more time. So during those seasons, really amp it up and make way more samples than you think you're going to need for the moment. Because samples, like Edie said, are very important, especially when we have new products. You want to get it in your customers' hands so they can experience it. And it's a great way to start conversations, have conversations with people that you don't know, and also, of course, get repeat orders when you throw your samples in your customers' bags. So now let's talk about what kind of things are you going to be making samples of? So most people tend to stick with our clean products, so like our new hand soap or our new kitchen soap would be something great to make a sample of, or even our new counter cleaner. Those would all be great things that you could easily make samples of. Of course, our wax, definitely our laundry products. I absolutely am obsessed with making samples of washer whiffs because of how intensely fragrant they are. If I've got them in my purse or if I've got them in a basket on a table, they really have such a large scent throw. So those are the most common products that you would typically be making samples of. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was how. So what are kind of the best ideas? I want to suggest to you all a Facebook page that is like the hub of all sampling. It's amazing. It's actually called Layer on the Samples. So Layer on the Samples. It's an amazing page full of tons of resources, lots of ideas, lots of links to get the items that you need to actually make your samples, and there's even templates and things that you can print off to actually attach to your samples that you're making. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource, and I'm sure all of the other ladies on the show are on this page because it's a wonderful one. So, the best ideas, the best things that I commonly will do with samples. So the washer whiffs. My favorite way to make washer whiff samples is these adorable test tubes. They're about this tall. and they're plastic with little screw-on lids typically, and they just look super cute. These test tubes, you would want to put your appropriate amount of washer whiffs in them to fill them, and then they're clear so you can easily see the washer whiffs through them, and you want to put them inside of a little plastic baggie, probably about this length here, maybe a little longer. I would say probably 6 centimeters by 13 centimeters roughly is what you would need for your test tube baggies. And the specific ones that are really popular that most people tend to use is by Carter Scientific. It's K-A-R-T-E-R Scientific test tubes. And you can easily search for those on Amazon. Carter with a K, Scientific test tubes, 10 milliliters is actually the size. You can get 100 of those for only $9.95 on Amazon. So great price and really adorable. The test tube itself is very eye-catching. People really tend to notice that so much more than if you threw a scoop of washer whiffs in a plastic bag. So great thing for your washer whiffs. And of course, if you're in a pinch and you want to make washer whiff samples right now and you don't want to wait for your test tubes to come in, by all means, make some in a plastic baggie. But if you've got the time and you want to order some, the test tubes look super cute. So let's talk about the wax next. So the wax is the thing that most of us are making samples of most frequently. We've got our scent of the month coming in and things like that that we often want to make samples of. And we've got all the new fragrances. So when it comes to making samples, I do it really the old-fashioned way. I have the Old Star. Now that we've got the new logo, there's a new mold. This is the mold from the Scentsy family store. This is my favorite one to use, and it still smells like the last batch of samples I made. It smells really good. So anyway, I use this, and to actually melt the wax to pour into the molds, I use the Wilton Chocolate Fondue Melter. And the reason I like to use this bad boy is it has a handy little insert that you place your wax in, and it quickly melts it, and then you've got a handle and a pour spout, making pouring into your sample little tray super easy. And then it's got a high or a low setting. I bought this at Michael's, and I think it was around $40. Does anybody remember how much these are?
Well, I don't ever pay full price for anything, so
yeah, I didn't pay full price. I had a coupon. Michael's always has coupons, so
I think it's like $34, $35.
Yeah, I thought it was between $30 and $40, but there's always coupons. Coupons. I say that word wrong. So anyway, that is how I actually make them, and then pour them down. And I actually don't fill these. These are super thick. So when I'm making samples with my business cards, I actually only fill them probably about a quarter of the way. I don't know if you can see the thickness of my sample there. But to make my wax go further, I actually do not fill it the whole way. And then just for time, I need to make my samples really quickly because of my schedule. So I just write the abbreviation on the back of my business card. So if someone says to me, hey, what's that scent? I love that. You gave me a sample the other day in Publix. What was it? I can tell them, okay, read me the lettering on the back, and I can tell you what it is. So that's how I make my samples quick, easy, and I throw my tray in the freezer to make it just fast. Now, during my seasons where I'm slammed, during my fall, I will easily have 10 to 13 parties every month. And so when I am that busy, I don't have the time to make samples. So if I've got an event coming up or something and I need samples fast, this is what I will do. It doesn't look pretty, but it works. And if you are in a jam, it's better to have these samples than not have them at all. So I use my old mini testers in the same old plastic bag with my business card to have samples during really busy times in my business, because they can just unscrew that lid and turn it upside down in their warmer for the wax to melt out. So that's what I do when I'm in a big hurry and don't have time to actually produce my own samples. Something else that's fun to do when you're making your samples is layering 2 different fragrances in your actual wax mold. Like, say that you wanted them to try the delicious blueberry rush that I have in my warmers right now, and I'm dying over. It smells so good. So say you want them to try blueberry rush mixed with crumb top. You could just put blueberry rush in first, let it harden, and then throw crumb top in over top and make a yummy layered sample as well. So that's something else fun that you can do with your wax samples. Another way that you can make wax samples, like for us in Florida during our intensely hot summer months, it's very difficult to carry our wax samples in our purses. They tend to quickly get smushy and gross looking from the heat, especially if you ever leave your purse in your car. So Dawn actually has an amazing video on how to make felt samples. I'm saying felt, F-E-L-T. So you actually just purchase felt from a local store, and just if you want to do it really quickly, you can just cut them into little strips, and then you would actually just dip your felt strip into the liquid wax and then pull it out, let it rest on a parchment, sheet so it would cool, and then you can put that in a baggie with your business card. So that's another way that you can make wax samples, but then have the comfort of carrying them around without having to worry about them getting, unattractive looking if it gets hot or what have you. So those are some ways that you can make wax samples. So the last two things I wanted to talk about is our room sprays. So our room sprays, or our you could do this with our room sprays or our new counter cleaner. So anything that's going to be in a liquid form that you want them to be able to spray. So these actually are little perfume atomizers, I think is how you pronounce it, and you can purchase them. There's many different sites, but the one that I've used in the past is AliExpress, and that's AliExpress, AliExpress. And they actually, the ones that I've used are the 3 milliliter perfume atomizer sprays. You can get 240 of those for only $38. And so they're getting 3 milliliters of either our new counter cleaner or the room spray. It's a great way to sample those items. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was lotions. Now that we have this incredible body souffle, this is something that I can't wait to get. Of all the things that I've ordered, I'm the most excited about my body souffle. I ordered it in number 9 and 34 because those are my favorites, and I can't wait to get that in my perfume roller. But for the lotion, anytime you can go purple, I like to go purple with my containers. And you can actually get these adorable small plastic round containers that are purple. You can get 100 of those on AliExpress also. You can get 100 of those for only $18.57. So those are kind of some of the best resources to actually make these samples and kind of some of the most common items that you would be sampling. So the last thing I want to talk about is when. When am I going to share these? How am I going to share these? Well, you're going to share them everywhere, every single day. So here are some of the common practices for where you're going to be sharing. Bless you, Christina.
Eat a little.
So one of my favorite ways to share our products, share our samples that I've made, is a sample bar. So I'm not sure if you've seen my YouTube video on them, but I do sample bars at every home party and at every event that I have. So what a sample bar is you basically have just a small setup where you've got a variety of fragrances in sample form, and you allow them to come up and select a couple of different fragrances and place them in little bags. So quickly I'll show you. My sign got a little water damaged at my last event when it rained, but I just have this little sign that says free samples, and on the one side it says find a new favorite scent, and the other side says pick any 2 that you love. So I typically have 5 fragrances for them to choose from, and I use my molds that I showed you earlier, but this time I actually fill the tray, fill the little slot, so it's actually a full thick sample for them to enjoy. So I will come with my little baggies and one of these cute little containers, which the sign and the container can both be purchased at Hobby Lobby. So these little containers I actually just purchased also from Hobby Lobby. These stickers that actually are chalk, like imprint stickers. So you can actually write on them with chalk or with chalk markers, which is what I used also from Hobby Lobby. Chalk markers. They're awesome. And then you can still wipe them off with water. So on these little stickers, I will just write the fragrance that they can select, and then I will fill it up with the samples. And then I have this little thing here that the entire thing is chalk. It's like a little tiny flower pot. I don't know. I also got this at Hobby Lobby. But I just wrote, pick any two you like, grab a bag, enjoy your sample. And then inside of here is where I'll have the bags and my business card. So I tell them grab a bag and a business card and, you know, stick them in there. So that's how I do a sample bar. And I do a sample bar, like I said, at every home party that I do, and I also do them at my events. So I will prep my samples. Like when I've got some time, you know, say, you know, one Saturday I don't have a party or an event, I will try to make as many samples as possible that Saturday. So I'm prepped for when I know I've got upcoming busy months and busy weeks. It's all about that pre-planning and that organization if you want to do something like a sample bar. And then you can just throw, you know, say you fill a gallon-sized Ziploc bag with samples, throw it in your freezer, and that will be good for a long time. So you don't have to worry about it losing its scent when you throw your samples in the freezer. So sample bars, that's one way you can share your samples. Let's see. Oh, I love this idea. So I saw this on somebody on the sample page today, and I've seen it in the past, but I had kind of forgotten about it. But creating something for your car that is a take a sample baggy, I guess you would call it. So I've seen people create something that they hang on their back windshield wiper of their SUV or car, and it'll just say, free samples, please take one. And it's really bright and eye-catching, and then you could place whatever samples you wanted to place inside of there with something like a product list. So something like that is a great way to offer samples when you're not even around. Your car is doing your work for you. And these samples are something that I carry daily. I carry at least 3 or 4 of these in my purse every day with product lists. And the way I kind of maintain a steady amount of giving out samples is I live by the 50-10 rule each month. And so does my team. I encourage them to do the same. So the 50-10 rule means that at the beginning of every month, I've got 50 samples of whatever I want, whether it's a body souffle or, you know, a room spray or wax, washer whiffs, whatever it is, 50 samples at the start of every month and 10 possibility packets. I put these in a bowl by my garage door, and those 50 samples and 10 possibility packets must be gone before the month's end. So that's kind of my commitment to know that each month I'm meeting 50 new people. I'm giving 50 new samples out. So samples are something that you want to carry every single day. Also, goodie bags. A lot of events in your community that you might not be able to set up at for whatever reason. They might not allow vendors. A lot of times they'll do, you know, little goodie bags for the people coming, and they'll ask you if you want to put some items in a goodie bag. That's when making your really thin samples of these would be really great, or even doing a small amount of washer whiffs would be really great, and with your information. That's another way that you can share our products and share samples. And the last note I had for sharing your samples is, and this is something that I've had a lot of fun doing actually. So say that there's some event in your community, like I mentioned before, that they don't allow network marketing consultants, or for whatever reason you can't set up there. I will come wearing a Scentsy shirt, and I will bring this really big basket that I have, and I will fill it with samples, and I will actually walk around and just give samples out to people. It doesn't matter if you don't have a vendor booth there or anything. Like, you can, it's a free world. You can walk around and give out free stuff if you want to. So that's really fun too. It's a great way to give out samples and meet new people as well, and, you know, just mingle. So those are kind of some of my tips that I had on sample making, how to share them, how to make them, and hopefully that you found some tips and some things you're excited to do.
I know I did.
You need to get my butt going on a sample bar. Like, it's like always best of intentions. I'm like, I want to make a sample bar, and then I always forget to go do it. I think it's going to happen. This payday, it's just going to happen.
My customers love it. Like, especially at the events, I find that it really draws people in. Mm-hmm. It's just so different than having like a bowl of these. Like when they actually get to pick, and
it gets them lingering at your table, so you can talk to them and get to know them. Yeah, I'm psyched.
Yeah, and then it always provokes questions because they'll be like, well, so what do I do with this?
Put it in your thing.
Exactly. Well, you'll need a warmer to put it in. Let me show you.
Did you? I know I was trying to show you my test tube samples, but for some reason
Yes.
I had everybody muted, and then I was like, I don't know if they can see this, or if I have I don't know what I'm missing right now, but I have some.
Perfect. Really Thank you.
So
see, look how cute they are, guys. Aren't they adorable?
Yeah, this is the laundry liquid and washer whips next to each other. They're so cute.
There you go. And how adorable would that be? Even if you don't have a bag and you just want to tie them together with ribbon, it's just so cute.
Yeah, and they're super secure, so you can mail them easily. So,
do you know what this is? What's that? Oh, is that a heat sealer?
It is, and so it's perfect for any liquid type samples you want to do, or even washer whips. So I was trying to do the laundry liquid in just like zipper bags because I'm cheap like that, and it was oozing out and it was getting all gross. So my amazing superstar director Jacqueline Roy turned me onto this. So you just get foil baggies, and I'm out of them right now, but I could tell you what size, but I'm
that's really good
right now.
Foil baggies.
So then you just put the washer whips in there, or not washer whips, laundry liquid in there, or you could even do it with the dish soap now. And then you just press this down, and it pops up on its own when it's sealed, and you slap a sticker on it, and you're good to go.
They also have.
How much is something like that, Jamie?
They're really not bad. I'm wanting to say this was, I'm guessing $30.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Not bad, no.
And then the bags, you're going to get like a giant roll of them for say $10. So you have this expense right up front, but past that, your bags are way cheap, way cheap.
They have
because I'm like find the cheapest way to do anything, and so I'm not gonna. The test tubes are cute, but I'm too cheap, and so I like this.
They have scent proof ones that you can buy from drug dealers on Amazon. Some of them have pot leaves on them and questionable things, but some of them are blank. You can't smell anything through them, and they're food safe. But they have a resealable top, but then the heat seal is right above it, and they're foil on one side and clear on the other. And I did Velada rub samples in those, which rocked because none of the scent was coming out because those babies are strong, and I could store all of them in one box all together without them kind of mixing and mingling, and people loved the rub samples. So I know we're kind of sensing in, but Velada rubs and now the new grillers and all that stuff, you can put those easily in those awesome heat seal pouches, and if you get the food safe ones with the smell resistantness, you can mail them really easily. So
that's good.
I love smell resistantness.
And then you're getting them
so that you can travel with them.
You know what? I'm really surprised that not one of you mentioned anything about Halloween.
Lame. I love Halloween. I do.
I know that there's a lot of I don't get any Halloween trick-or-treaters here because we live out in the tree boonies, so there's nobody that knocks on my door. But there's a lot of people on my team that are making goodie bags for the parents. So when the kids come up and do their trick-or-treating, they have a little goodie bag. Oh, can you bring this to your mom or dad or whatever? And so that's a great way to get samples out too. And I know another thing that, recently here, we had a Labor Day parade. If you can get yourself into some of these parades and hand out samples, I mean, that is huge, the amount of people that you can reach when you're in a parade. So I don't know what it's like for every area.
I think with sampling, people get so discouraged very quickly, and it's something that, I literally got a message today from someone who's like, I'm so discouraged. I've probably given out 150 samples in the last 2 months, and nothing's happening. And it's I think people are under some type of impression that when we talk about giving out samples, that means that tomorrow I'm going to have 7 online orders. That's not the way that it works. Right. You're giving out samples is just a consistent pattern of behavior that you need to get in because it will bring results. Is it going to be every time? No. But it's an opportunity that you would miss had you not given out your sample.
Right.
So,
And you know what, Katie? That goes along with the whole analogy, and you guys know I love analogies, that it's the planting of seeds. When you throw a bunch of seeds in the ground, not all of them are going to sprout. Not all of them are going to grow. There's going to be some that you're going to have to nourish and you know, get them to grow. But do you know the statistic is that when you hand out samples or you hand out catalogs or you hand out business cards or information, that 1 out of 100 are going to call you back. So, or they're actually going to take that initiative to call. And a lot of that is because, you know, the customer is just as scared to call us as we are to call them out of the blue. So, you know, you have to just keep being there for them and keep providing these samples and keep planting those seeds. And so that's why all of these ideas tonight were fantastic, because it gives you an outlet of different ways, whether it's through sampling or open houses or different type of theme parties or, you know, creating videos to entice people. There's just so many different options to provide information about our new products and to get out there so that people can see you and try it and feel it and, you know, be part of the experience that Scentsy offers. So to kind of wrap things up, I don't have a lot to talk about because these wonderful ladies did such an amazing job. But I do want to talk about our VIP program. And the reason that I want to talk about the VIP program tonight is because it goes along with what we're talking about. Getting information, getting products, getting samples into your customers' hands. And the VIP program is amazing. So if you have ever heard of Birchbox or Barkbox or, you know, some of these other retail establishments or there's actually some other direct sales companies that are doing the same thing now. That they have a subscription box that you can purchase, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly or maybe quarterly, and you pay a certain amount for the subscription, and they send you a box of stuff. And it's so cool because you get to sample products that are being sold by that company. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing, and I'm super excited about this because I know that that subscription world is huge out there. I mean, if you go to, I don't even know the name of the website, but there's a website out there that actually gives you a list of all of the companies that provide subscription boxes, and we're going to get to be one of them. So that's really exciting, and I hope that all of you guys jump on board with this for yourself, but also to educate your customers to do the same thing. And basically what they're going to do is on September 10th, which we are 3 days away from, they're going to be launching this program. And you're going to educate your customers to go to your own website. Don't go to, you know, SensiVIP.com. Don't go to Scentsy.com. Go to your specific website that you have as a consultant and have them sign up for the VIP program there. The costs are going to be dependent on what they choose. You get to talk about, or you get to suggest different types of products you like if you like the laundry stuff or the clean stuff or maybe just wax or maybe diffusers, that kind of thing. But the other thing is that they're going to be providing these subscription boxes at times with products that haven't even come out to Scentsy yet, and they're going to put it out to the subscription masses to get your ideas, to get your opinions on the product before they actually release it out into a catalog. So that is super cool that Scentsy feels that our customers are that valuable, right, that we're going to be able to get that information to Scentsy based on experience rather than, oh, that sounds nice, you know, we should do that. So the VIP program is going to be huge, and as a consultant, you're going to earn commission off of that, but it's also going to give you the ability to get to customers in their hands some samples of items that they might not have already tried. Maybe they've done wax and warmers, and they've, you know, been a customer of yours, and they've never tried the laundry line, and this is going to be a great way for you to give them a sampling of doing that. So the subscription program, the VIP program, is starting on September 10th. I think it's going to be a huge opportunity for not only us as consultants, but as our customers. We can be a customer. We can actually sign up for the VIP program ourselves, so that's exciting. Is there anything else, ladies, that you guys can think of that's going to be part of this VIP program that I've missed?
I don't think so.
It wasn't VIP, but I did want to interject something.
Sure.
You mentioned trick-or-treating, which is a great, great idea, but I think most consultants put a little saying on the sample, if it's like a wax sample, it'll say warm me, heat me, just don't eat me.
Right.
So that kids don't eat the
I put kids love snacks, but moms love wax, and then I put that underneath it.
Oh, I like that one too. Kids love.
I don't remember what mine says. I have a YouTube video on it. It's like two paragraphs. It's like two little paragraphs. It's like a little like poem, if you will. I don't remember what it says.
We'll have to go find your video.
I love doing the little mom goodie bags. I just hate when they don't come to the door and they stand at the base of the driveway. It's like, come on, because I get my house, I get it pumping, and I'm like, open the door, smell the deliciousness.
Yeah.
My Christmas, every single Halloween, I don't know if you guys do this, but for me, I have a Halloween scent. I use it every Halloween, and it is red candy apple mixed with toasted caramel sugar. Because it smells like caramel apples, and it's my favorite scent. And this will probably be my last Halloween getting to use it, unless they come back for Bring Back My Bar.
You'll have to do apple s'mores or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys do that? Do you have like a go-to scent for Halloween that you always do?
I have fall scents, but not specifically for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I usually do Mandarin Moon or
I love
Clementine
Mandarin
Clove.
Moon.
Yeah, something that smells like haunted. I always feel like Mandarin Moon smells like Hocus Pocus.
What smells haunted?
Mandarin Moon to me, it sounds spooky.
My house is the haunted house. Because from the outside, we haven't touched it, and we're down like a crazy, like trees over it driveway. They would think my house was the haunted house.
Awesome.
But it looks beautiful on the inside.
It is, but the outside is deceiving.
Has anybody bought a black plastic cauldron from like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or anything and cut the bottom out of it and put it over your diffuser?
Oh my God, what a great idea.
Cauldron would be like,
Lovely.
Love it.
You have to have it on the green or the purple light. That'd be cool.
And you could put like that fuzzy stuff that comes that you put in pillows. You could put some of that around the top of the diffuser so that you didn't say, hey, that's a diffuser in a cauldron. You know, but like to cover it like a little bit, that would be cool. I just think that would be cool. I haven't cut up.
When you do one, take a picture of it.
Yep, Dawn, you're in
I
charge.
would make a video.
Yeah, she's gonna make a YouTube video. What you talking about?
You're in charge.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
All right, guys. You know what? I think we had some amazing ideas tonight. You know, and one thing that Katie mentioned that I want to reiterate, and I think this might have been off camera actually, but one of our purposes of getting together the first Monday of every month is to provide value to you guys and to have you walk away from these shows with something that you can say, you know what, that was a really good idea. I want to implement that into my business, and I want to see what it can do for me for the better, you know. And so it's really important for us, each of us, we all feel this way, that we really want to be able to give you guys something of value. You know, so hopefully that happened tonight. We had a lot of great ideas. There was a lot of information. Super excited about the new catalog and all of our new products. I know a lot of consultants watching this. And by the way, guys, we got up to almost about 40 viewers tonight. So that's live. So that's awesome.
Hey.
So, you know, hopefully it's making a change and it's making a difference. And it's showing everybody that, you know what, guys, we can do these things together. We're not one of us is on the same team. Not one of us has the same upline. So it's a really fun way to get together and share ideas and share them with the public. And I love this show. I don't know about you guys, but I just love this show. All right, so I guess we're all going to say goodnight, and we'll see everybody next month on October 5th is the next Monday, the first Monday of October. Bye.
All right, you guys.
Good night.
Good night.